Good morning. Day 173, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry. So I am very much looking forward to this cup of coffee this morning. It's chilly this morning outside, but it's supposed to go up to 81, which will be beautiful. That's right in my Goldilocks zone. So I'll putz out in the garden a little bit later, and I think I have a couple of declutter projects in mind. One of them is, as usual, my kitchen table. I still have seeds out and different papers and mail that needs to be taken care of, bills that need to be paid, and then my dog's drinking water. And then my dining room table still has things on it that I need to put up for my shelving. So I need to find a different home for that until I'm ready to use it, because as I said, I still have to sand the boards and stain them, so I can't hang up the shelving yet. It seems like every project has 20 smaller projects that you need to do before you can actually get to the main project. But I guess that's the way it works. So I need to go look at my garden. I'll take you along in a little while. I need to water. We don't have rain predicted for a couple days, although it's pretty cloudy so far today. And I need to water. That's the part that gets difficult here if you don't have a water system set up, and I really don't. I do have a sprinkler, but getting everything watered once the heat sets in, and that hasn't really happened for an extended period of time yet. And then if I go to the boat, I have to have somebody else water my things, because that was too much work to just let it go. All right, well, I'll be back in a little while, and we'll see what's for breakfast. Day 173. So here's my table. I know, it needs work. I should hang my head in shame, but I do clean it up every now and then. And this is just the place in my house where stuff accumulates and multiplies. So some of the stuff is for gardening. Some of the stuff I dragged out from when I was purging that I still need to do something with. So there is my table of shame. All right, we'll see if I get it to a nicer place by the end of the day. All right, let's see what's for breakfast, day 173. Got lots of eggs. I think I'm going to have some pasta with an egg. That sounds really good. All right. Okay, I will meet you at the stove. Okay, you guys have seen me make this many times before. It's just whatever pasta I have, whether it's elbows or egg noodles, or it works with all pasta. And I'm just going to heat this up with some butter in a pan, and I'm going to save this for a pasta salad that I'll make later and have for dinner. So I'm just going to heat this up and then put my egg in it and that'll be breakfast. So I'll be back when this is all ready to plate up. Okay, this is ready for the egg now. And I'm going to put some garlic salt on it. You could put on it whatever you want, but I like it with some garlic salt. And then I'm just going to mix up this egg and distribute it over the pasta. And a little pepper. Nothing coming out. Well, a little bit. I guess stewing it in one direction works better. So a quick and easy breakfast, and this is why I cook up extra pasta and extra rice whenever I make the basics, so that I have enough for multiple meals. So I had the pasta with the squash and tomato sauce the other day, and now I'm having it with the egg, and later on I'll have it as a pasta salad. So alright, that's it. You can cook the egg as much or as little as you want. I like it when it's still a little bit creamy. And that's it. So I'll be back in a little bit and I'm going to make a very simple pasta salad. And I have some dill relish here. I always keep this handy because I don't always feel like chopping up pickles. I have some celery seeds. I have some celery salt. I don't know if I'll need this or not. And then I've had this pasta salad. It's by McCormick, and it's a vinaigrette dressing blend, and it's been in my pantry stash forever. So I want to use this up. I have a little quarter of a white onion here, chopped up. That's going to go into the little pasta salad because I don't have a lot here. This is enough for 1 or 2 servings. So I'm just going to add the onion and the celery seed. You don't need to put the celery seed in if you don't want. You can leave it out. You can use onion powder, garlic powder, if you don't have onions, dried onions. But I like some celery seed in it. So I'm going to put a good few dashes of celery seed in there. And a good hefty blob of this dill relish. And this is not sweet relish, but you could add sweet relish too if you wanted to. Depends on the taste you like in your pasta salad. Alright, I'm going to mix up this pasta salad. Now it says a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and a 1/4 cup of white vinegar. But I don't want that much oil, so I'm going to do half oil and half water. So I'm going to mix this up and then I'll be back. Now I have this little gadget, I've had it for years and years. It's called a slim mixer, and it's by Empson, and it's battery operated and it mixes things. So since this is vinegar and oil and water, I want to emulsify it a little bit. Alright, so that should be good. Well, it mixed it up a little bit. It's not a high-speed blender, that's for sure. But it's kind of a fun thing to use. So I'm going to give this a little taste and see if it needs a little more water. Definitely needs a little more water. It's very salty. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this to the pasta salad. And then the rest I can use as a salad dressing. It's just a vinaigrette. So that's a very easy way to make pasta salad. You can use pre-made Italian dressing, your own homemade dressing, whatever it is you have. If I had some, I would add a little celery to this. You could add carrots. But I like it just like this. And I like to make my pasta salad a few hours ahead of time so that the dressing can soak into the pasta. But keeping the dill relish on hand really makes it easier. I use this on my potato salad, all kinds of things. Okay. Well, that's a tasty salad. And then I'm just going to save the rest of this in my, this came with the, oh, I can't think of the salad dressing. The one you mix up. Anyway, this little jar came with that. It's got the measurements of vinegar and oil, and then you put the seasoning packet in it. So this will last me a while for other salads. All right, I'll be back. Good seasons. That's what it was. All right, I'm back. These are the last of my potatoes. And I have them in my microwave steamer. There's 5 of them. Some of them are starting to get a little pruny. And I'm going to cook these for, 10-15 minutes, I'm thinking. I'm going to check them after 10. I'll steam them. And then I'll have these available to do other things with. I could make potato salad with them, fry them with some eggs in the morning. So, and I don't want them to go totally bad. And here, I still have some of these potatoes that have chits on them. And I really need to get these planted. So maybe I'll do that in a little bit too. But I want to use up my potatoes. And then I might buy new ones, or I might just not buy new ones. I'm not sure yet. But I never buy more than 5 pounds of potatoes because that usually lasts me a good month to 6 weeks. 10 pounds for me is way too much unless I share them with my daughter. I've done that before. Alright, I'm going to get these cooked up and then I'm just going to let them cool and put them in the refrigerator. So, cooking ahead for future me. Alright, I'll be back a little bit later and we'll see what else I have to talk about. I'm going to have some coffee before I tackle some chores. But before I do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about feeling overwhelmed. And I know for me, first of all, cheers. Go grab a cup of coffee, put your feet up, and let's spend a couple of minutes and just have a visit. So I just had one of those big, huge donuts, which I didn't need, but they're there. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but in the afternoon, sometimes I like a little something sweet with a cup of coffee. So I went to Drug Mart today because in my head, I need to organize what it is that I want to accomplish. Because especially when you're trying to downsize, or if you have a project where you're redoing something, I don't know about you, but for me it's all jumbled up in my head, and it goes round and round and round, and never to get done if I don't organize it. So I had one of the light bulb moments this morning, and I thought, I love writing things down, and I love notebooks, and just as I learn things, I like to write it down, things that are important to me. So I went to Drug Mart and I bought, I believe this is a 2-inch notebook, and it was only $3.99. And in my garage stash, because I have a stash of things in the garage, not so much food, I keep my dog food out there, I keep extra paper, pencils, anything that isn't perishable, I keep in the garage. So I knew I had a couple packs of notebook paper. So I went and bought the notebook, and then I also bought the dividers. Now this is an 8-pack, and it was $1.29, and they also had a 5-pack that was $1.99, so of course I picked this one. And I got 4 of these because I also got a couple of these notebooks for $1.99 each, and they're not very thick. And what I want to do is organize all my printed vegan and vegetarian recipes. I have them all in notebooks already by category, but I have so much that I thought this one I could do for vegan meat recipes, I could do another one for vegan baking, and rather than have a big huge notebook with everything in it, I want to put it in subcategories. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. But these I specifically bought for this notebook, which is going to be called my project book. Now in here, normally I write things down on little pieces of paper. Well, you saw my kitchen table, or little to-do lists like this, and then I have them laying all over. So I thought, why not organize my thoughts all in one place, so that all I have to do is grab this notebook, turn to the project, and be good with it. Now a spiral notebook, I have a lot of those. They don't always work because you have to tear the pages out, and then if they're out of order. Like even in my garden book, that's a spiral book, and I want to change that over to one of the blue notebooks. Let's say I write information down about companion planting, and then later I learn more about it and I'm 5 pages over already. They're not together. So that's why I like the notebook paper, just like you use in school. So anyway, I have 3 packs of dividers in here. And in the front, I have a master list. And as you can see, I already started this on the small paper. And I just taped it to the bigger paper because I can continue to write on here. And I always write in pencil because then I can erase and to my heart's content. So then what I did was all those projects that I have on here,
I made a tab for each one, and then I put several pages of notebook paper behind each tab. So everything on this list has a tab and notebook paper. And then what I did was I made more tabs with notebook paper for every single room in my house. In other words, one is kitchen, one is living room, one is dining room, hallway, bathroom. You get the picture. And that way I have all my projects in one place. The reason I like to have it tabbed off rather than all big one list, it keeps it ordered in my mind, and depending on what project I'm working on, like let's say kitchen shelves. Well, if I just write kitchen shelves, I still have to break down the process each time of how I want to put up these kitchen shelves. So I can write on the paper then, sand the shelves. Then I can write stain the shelves, put up brackets. You know, I can break everything down into subtasks because that seems to be how everything works anyway. And then as I complete each subtask, I can just check that off. And when I'm done with the project, I can throw that away or keep it for, no, we're not keeping it. But I can throw that away and I can change it out and put in a new project. But in my mind, this is how my mind works. A lot of times when I have a project going and it's overwhelming, I have to break it down into smaller steps so that I can get started. Because if I look at the whole picture, I don't get started. I just don't do it. That's like my deck, okay? I've been working on that a little bit here, a little bit there. And the other day, the video I did about organizing the deck, I did one corner. So the next step will be organizing another corner. So writing all the steps down is very helpful for me. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you may want to try that. And getting a notebook like this is not a big investment. This cost me $5 or $6, and that's it. I already had the paper, so you know it's not expensive at all. And I like the idea of everything being here rather than 10 notes all over my kitchen table, because then they're in the pile, I forget about it, and never to be seen again until I purge my kitchen table. So anyway, give that a try if you're having a hard time getting started on a project. You don't have to have this many projects. If you live in an apartment and you just want to declutter your shelves, you could write down declutter the shelf over the stove, and you know, then you could say get rid of spices that are expired, or you know, you get the picture. But breaking it down into manageable steps will at least help you get started. And then another thing that you can do once you have your project book put together, you can decide how much time you want to spend on a task every day. In other words, you're not going to be sitting there going, oh my God, this is going to take me 8 hours of misery to get this done. You can say, I'm going to start on this for 15 minutes. And then as you do that, you check off your tasks, and after 15 minutes, if you want to, you stop. If you don't want to, you can do another 15 minutes, however you want. But I think with this system, it'll at least get you started. And putting something on paper, for me, always gets it out of my head. you know, even if I have a problem, if I write it down on paper, it's no longer rattling around in my brain. It's on paper, and I can add to whatever thoughts that I have and put it down there. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and see maybe if that might be useful for you. I know this is going to be extremely useful for me. I'm going to use this for my house. I'm going to use this for my garden. And this, along with writing my bloom pages, which I'm still doing, and I'm journaling on the back. And the other day I had something that was bothering me, so I actually did the bloom page, the back of the bloom page, and I added just another page. So you can do that too. But and that idea comes from The Artist's Way, and it was actually written by, her name is Cameron, the last name, Julia Cameron maybe, I'm not sure. But she was having artist's block. She's an artist, obviously, Artist's Way. And it was sort of a system that she came up with, but it works for everything. You know, it doesn't just work for, you know, artist's block or writer's block or anything like that. So that's a good book. So anyway, I'm going to get started on decluttering at least my kitchen table. I don't know if I'll get to the dining room table or not. I might, but and then I'll be back for supper. All right, let's get going on this kitchen table. Let's eat this elephant. All right, so I found this basket in my basement. I've had it for a long time. It's a nice sturdy one. It's got a metal frame. So I'm going to keep this handy for papers. So for now, I'm just going to shove the papers in here, and then I can sort through them later. Of course, everything that I know is garbage is going to go in the garbage. So I need a bag. And this will all go in the recycle bin. All right. I have a leap pad that my grandkids had with the thing. I'm going to give these to Tom because he has smaller grandchildren than I do, and maybe they want that. So that's going to be going to donation to somebody I know. So I should get a box for that. This is one of my stands that I'm putting over here at the stove. I need to get a donation box. Okay, I've decided to donate this. I tried it with the cookbook. It doesn't work. There's already a few things in the box here that are going to donation. These potatoes need to go in the garage because those need to be planted. Gardening. These are all my seeds, so all this needs to go into the garage. That's where I store them. So I'll be back. Okay, it's starting to look a little better. These things I still have to plant. These are my beans and carrots. So this needs to still go in the garden. So I'm going to put this in the laundry room for now. And my coffee is warm. It takes me 2 hours to drink a cup of coffee, so I keep reheating it. And that's part of the reason why I keep reusing this cup. I have prettier cups, but they have gold and things on them, and then they spark in the microwave. So that's really the main reason why I use this cup, and I do like it. Okay. This is my huge garden book. It's almost too big. I have to organize my garden notes. And this was part of the reason why I wanted a project book. I'll be putting a garden project book together too. See all the notes? I want them all in my little book here. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. It's looking better. I need to sort through these papers. Put the donation box in the garage with the other donation box that I have. And I have to figure out what to do with this, because that needs to go back on my shelves that are going over there. So that may have to stay there for a while. Alright, I'll be back when this is done. Alright, yay, I got my table decluttered. That's going to have to live here until I get my shelves up, because there's no room in my pantry. So I'm glad I got that done, all the papers sorted, my project book put together. So let's see what's for dinner. Okay. My dogs are out there barking like crazy because my neighbor is having some repair work done. So let's see what we have. All right, these are the potatoes I cooked. I'm not having those. I am going to have my pasta salad. I'm going to finish up these pickled beets. And let's see what else. All right, let's see what's in the freezer to go with it. Let's see. I'm going to have some of this Beyond Chicken, the Beyond Chicken tenders, to go with my pasta salad. And well, it's looking pretty good in the freezer here. I'm happy with the progress. Still cooking down to do, but it's getting there. And I forgot, I think I'm going to have a bit of a salad. I have this tomato and a little bit of this onion. And a little bit of romaine here. I have 2 more romaine. All right. I will meet you at the stove. Okay, well, here is my dinner. Day 173. Beyond chicken, pasta salad, a green salad with tomatoes, and the rest of the beets. So, and I cooked a couple of pieces extra of the Beyond chicken for future me, because that's what I like to do. All right. Dinner, day 173. I'll be back in a minute after I enjoy this. And dinner was good. Finishing up a teeny tiny bit of coffee from earlier. So I feel pretty good sitting here at my table, not looking at a pile of stuff. And the more that I do this, even though that was a small project, the better I feel about my home, the better I feel about myself. So I'm going to keep it going. How about you guys? Are you joining me, or are you just enjoying watching me? Or maybe not at all. That's okay too. So I'm almost approaching 6 months of cooking down the freezer. Yes. And I'm going to keep that going too. So I'm excited about my project book. I started writing down some things I want to finish up in the garden, because I have a section for the garden in there too. And as I think of projects, I'm going to write them in my project book, and I'm going to put step by step how I want to get the project done. And the nice part about that is I love crossing things off. Well, I use a check mark, and I love doing that. So for me, I think it's going to work great, and it'll keep me focused, and hopefully I'll get my projects done. All right, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.